one of my strong characteristics is persistence. And I'm also able to change and adapt. I'm nearly done talking about neurodiversity and being neurodivergent, because I've said quite a lot of things that, well, like pretty much everything I need to say. These are the things we could bring up, but the high majority of it is said. Yeah, the high majority of it is said, because even I didn't know it, like throughout my 20s, I had actually accepted it, because people who are expressing all of the traits, or people that express some of the traits, I was friends with. I didn't know the terminology behind it. I had an idea about Asperger's syndrome, meaning I knew about Asperger's syndrome, but I didn't accept it till my 30s. But at the same time, it was like, if you didn't accept it, then how come your closest circle of friends that you ended up spending the most time with and hanging out with and doing things like that with, you loved them, meaning they didn't have to, you guys can have arguments and you guys will just get it sorted out, do all these types of things, and these friendships last for years, sometimes like a decade or so. And all of us, and now that your awareness and your acceptance of the Asperger's syndrome, meaning and I don't like the word syndrome because it just means there's something wrong with you, but really it's just a different type of communicating. The reason why it is a disability is because the fact that the high majority of the world doesn't see things from the same lens. The high majority of the world doesn't process things the exact same way. The high majority of the world is not like you. We're all human. And, but when get ostracized, well, not ostracized, because I always had a handful of friends. My handful of friends from Auckland parted ways because when we moved to Hawke's Bay when I was 14, I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't have a cell phone till I was 26 years, no, 26, sorry. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about something else when I say 26 now. 16 years old. 16 years old. So that meant that by the time I had a cell phone, I had already been living in another region away from them for 2 years, and obviously I didn't get their numbers. Because the next time I came across them was on Facebook, when I joined Facebook when I was 23 years old. Was it 23? Yeah, 23 years old. And so by the time I had, that was the situation, we grew apart that way. My friends from Hawke's Bay grew apart because I wouldn't separate from my family, because I thought you'd never do that because it's family. You give them a pass because it's family. And so there were certain things like, yep, all good. So I never took it out on them, but you know, like I went run out the back of the house and like yell or something to get a frustration out, but I wouldn't yell at them or anything. But I think they took it the wrong way, like, you know, because I just walk off to the other side of the house or something, and they didn't have any kids. So, you know, well, they do now, but they didn't back then. And this was like 2015, 2016 that started happening. No, earlier. And then it stopped. Well, yeah. That's how different this thing has gone. But yes, persistence. I can stick at something for a very, very long time, but I also know how to change. And the thing is, I don't really have much else more to say about these things, because this is Daniel Mohi, but I just said this in a joke. I add this in for a joke, okay? Because I ain't got, and there's nothing else there's nothing else to say, because I am the Swagmaster Sway, but I'm being Daniel Mohi, the real Daniel. Swagmaster is just a elevated showman, performing art version of the positive aspects of myself. So lights, camera, action. He's always wearing the coolest clothes, and he's always real out there, you know what I'm saying? And don't forget some theme music or something every time he walks into the room. Yeah, so we grew apart, but I don't have any issues with those friends from Hawke's Bay, because they, you know, again, when they didn't have any kids, I used to just show up too. Sometimes I just used to just show up because I was driving past, or, you know, I'm bored, like, you know, let's just pop around for half an hour. And, you know, obviously when someone has a family or something like that, you know, you gotta send messages, or, you know, yeah, just wasn't like, once I got to like 2015, 2016, around that time, I started just messaging them every time I thought about coming around. And even when it popped into my mind and I was in the car, I just send them a message. And if it was like I was waiting in the car for like 5 or so minutes, I'll just give them a phone call and see if they're available. And if they said no, I used to respect their boundaries, you know. And they'll be like, okay, well, that's alright, it's just that I'm not doing much today and I got some time to fill in, and I thought I haven't seen you or heard from you in a couple of weeks, so I thought I'd just come around. Yeah, I just drove by your house and I was on the way to get some groceries, so I thought I'd give you a call. Alright, cheers, mate. Okay, so you're busy today, are you? That makes sense. Alright, well, maybe another time. Okay, bye-bye. You know, that type of thing. So yeah, the thing is, I'm nearly done with it, because I know that's like when I'm done, like finished talking, like remember I was going on about the narcissism stuff, and that went right down. That went right down to barely gets mentioned, but it still gets mentioned every here and there. And I'm at the point where it's gonna go right down for the neurodivergent stuff. It's gonna start going down, because it's just gonna be more and more of the same. But you know, I still got a few things to say, but not much left. I am the Swagmaster, Sway, but my name's Daniel Mohi. See you.